bring Alonzo on my show to talk about something that many of you have asked me about online, and that is how can I get started in real estate investing, real estate development, and those kinds of things. So we're going to have a quick little conversation about that topic, and then if you'd like to go deeper and wider, there will be an opportunity for you to work with me and Alonzo to build your real estate empire. So Alonzo, you said that I could drop you off in any city in America and you can help somebody. You can actually get dropped off in that city and start doing real estate within 24 hours. How would you do that?
I call it any city USA. And how I would do that, number one, I would look at the neighborhoods that are in that city, starting from City Hall and go east, north, west, and south. And then within 1 mile, I could find a piece of real estate. And you can be in that real estate within 30 days.
So a lot of people have the thought that real estate, you have to have a lot of money to get involved in real estate. What are a couple of ways that you can get involved with real estate with other people's money?
Well, one of the ways you can get involved with real estate with other people's money is that you begin to research the neighborhoods. You research the information that's downtown in any city USA. You will find out where the properties are located, those that are on the list of the city, the county, and you can then go to an individual or a group of individuals and ask them to invest in real estate even before you purchase the real estate.
Wow. All right. So literally it's kind of no money down. We see those infomercials at 3:00 in the morning that say no money down. You can make money in real estate. And basically it's because you do all the work, right?
Absolutely.
You do the work and then you find investors. And where do you locate investors?
You can find investors. There are always investors looking at real estate. And you can go to the internet, number one. Number two, you can go to the property owners who already own the real estate who don't know how to dispose of it or turn it into cash.
Okay. So some of the people who are in houses, we go to neighborhoods and we look at houses and we kind of, we go shopping in neighborhoods and we see houses that are for sale, but there are sometimes that the houses are not for sale, but they are for sale. So how do you identify the buyers who may have houses that they don't know how to dispose of, maybe in bankruptcy or whatever? How do you figure out what those properties are?
You figure those properties out by going to the county records and finding out the owner of the record. And once you do that, you can begin to research where they live, their last address. It's just kind of a skip trace kind of what you begin to do. That may be airship, that may be 4 or 5 owners. So you then have to employ a real estate attorney that then comes to your team. And I call that the A in real estate.
Okay. So you've been doing this for a while. I remember when I was in high school, you were doing what was called dollar houses. Let's talk a little bit about what that phenomenon was.
In the early 70s, cities around the country were disposing of real estate that was on their books that they had liens against. They were cutting them, boarding them up, securing them. They were called hazardous properties. So they began a program which called urban rehabilitation. And then they would auction those houses off in a lottery system. And if your name or your number came up, you would have to secure the property, live in it, insurance, and stabilize the neighborhood for 3 years. And at the end of 3 years, they would give you the title to the home.
And you paid how much for the house?
$1.
What were these neighborhoods like?
These neighborhoods was in transition.
Okay.
They were up and coming neighborhoods. And today those neighborhoods are what we call urban corridors.
Okay. So you could buy the house, you had to live in it for 3 years. You paid $1, and what would happen after the 3 years is up?
After the 3 years, you've helped stabilize the neighborhood. They gave you the title to the home. So in 3 years, you basically invested $1, and at that time, the homes were worth about $40,000. So in 3 years, you made $40,000.
Wow! And so you could sell it. You owned the title, clear and
you owned the title, very clear. There was no encumbrance against the property. It was yours, free and clear, and you could sell the property.
And how long did this program go about?
It went on for about 7 years.
Okay, so it went on for 7 years, and then what happened?
And then there was a new policy came in. They accomplished their goals by stabilizing neighborhoods and keeping them from deteriorating any further.
So what's synonymous with $1 houses from the 70s? What's happening today in today's economy that's similar to that?
In today's economy, you have what's called hazardous property still, houses that have been abandoned for more than 3 to 7 years. The cities around the country have decided to secure those homes and take them off of the taxpayers' backs by selling them. So now it is a similar program, but it's a little different. The policies have changed a lot.
So how does somebody who's watching us right now, if they live in Chicago, if they live in Snyder, Texas, how do they figure out the programs? or find out about the programs that are very similar to the $1 program in their cities?
Well, first of all, they contact us.
Okay, right.
And then the second
Got that?
thing, we'll give you some 1, 2, 3s of what to do. But first of all, you do the research in the neighborhoods. You find out the zip code that you want to be in, and from there, contact us, and we'll begin to help you.
All right, so some people are in dire straits. They are in transition personally. They've lost their jobs. They've lost family members. Someone has died. So these are people who need help. They need people who are in the neighborhoods, know the neighborhoods, want to do well, and want to do good in the neighborhoods to come and help them get out of those situations. How would you go about helping someone who, let's say, may have lost their job, can't afford their $100,000 house?
Well, the first thing, we would sit down with them with an attorney and a counselor.
Okay.
We would get involved with the title companies in that state or in that county, and we would begin to gather the information and look at whether they mortgage their home, whether they have a second lien, whether it's a reverse mortgage. Just it's case by case, address by address.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, as a real estate investor, if I'm looking at my startup as a real estate investor, what do I need in place? I've heard you talk about an ABC.
The ABC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are those?
The first thing is an attorney, and then you need a banker or an investor or private equity group, and then C is a CPA to make sure that all the accounting and accountability is done for the venture.
All right. And then final question is, if I am building a real estate company, a real estate investment company, how important is it for me to build relationships in the community that I live in?
It's vital. It's vital. It's very vital, because what you want to do is empower the community. You want to make it a learning community so you can take this particular venture from city to city. And it's very easy to do. Number one, you want to start with the schools that's in that community, whether it's an elementary school, high school. Then secondly, you want to get involved with the council person who represents that district, who will give you leadership and will welcome you to come into her community or his community to help revitalize it.
All right. So, y'all, if you're watching right now and you thought that you want to get involved with real estate, you really don't know how to get started, we're going to give you an opportunity to get started, to learn how to become a real estate investor, ultimately to how to become a developer even in your community and those kinds of things. But if you've always wondered, how can I get involved as a real estate investor in my community or in places that I visited, then here's your opportunity to do it. You should see a button on this page right now. Click the button. You can get more information about our training, mentoring program in real estate investing, and we hope to be working with you soon. Take care.